Hello, 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 people. How we doing today on this beautiful Sunday evening? Is it evening where you guys are? It's probably not even where you guys are. It's evening here. It's pitch black. I'm in London, in the UK, and there is no sunlight. It is dark, and it is hot as hell because I've got this massive studio light that I've not directed at myself. So that was pretty stupid. But anyway, guys, thank you for being here. This is a celebration. Now, I haven't got any alcohol because I don't really drink alcohol. Haven't got any chocolates because no one bought me any. And there's no party poppers or there's no poppers in general. So I'm just stuck here by myself in this lonely room. I was editing a new video. I was editing next week's video because I try and do them 1 week in advance. Otherwise, um, I don't know. I like to get things done and get out the door as soon as possible. So that's what I've been doing all day, and it's been lonely. So I'm glad that you guys are here to celebrate the 50K. And the reason why you can probably see just here, it says 16K subs. Big love. The last time I was live on a live stream, I was celebrating 16K live stream subs, which were, I think it was like 3-4 months ago. So honestly, you guys have been amazing. What we're going to do today is very simple. I'm not going to be here for very long. I always say that, and I stay for like 3 hours, but today, honestly, I'm not going to stay for too long. But I'm going to talk to you guys and just get your guys' opinions on the latest films. I think the main thing is if you guys have got any questions about films, about life, about myself, about the channel, now's your chance. This is the first ever Q&A session, so get your questions in. And that's it, really. That's what we're going to be doing today. It's pretty basic stuff. So there's nothing hugely exciting apart from the conversations we're going to have. And I guess we can talk about some movie fights along the way. Why not? Why can't we do that? And I guess we can talk at the end. We can talk about what films we've seen this year that we've enjoyed. What is the best film of 2024 thus far? It's been a pretty shitty bloody year. Now I don't want to get demonetized, so I'm going to try and keep my swearing down to a minimum. But anyway, let me see who's here, who's not here. Recitas, you've been here since day one. Good to see you. Who else is here, guys? Also, I'm not going to just favor the ones who've been here since the beginning. I'm gonna talk to everyone, so don't worry. I am gonna pick out the ones that I've seen that I recognize, and then I'll introduce myself to the new faces who maybe have joined the channel since start to blow up a little bit after the movie fight episodes. So if you're new here, first of all, please do say hello. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what part of the world you're from. Let me know your name, because I know everyone's got like a little moniker. But if you could tell me your real name, or you don't have to tell me your real name, you can say I'm from here. That is absolutely fine. And I will say hello back, and then we'll know who each other are. I am Marcus. I am from London. Hello, White Noise. Been here since day one. Josh, you've been here before. I know that for a fact. Neil, I don't think I've seen you before, but I could be wrong. And Papa Hannibal. What a name. That is amazing. What an amazing name. Who else we got here? We have got Mahad. Transformer 1 is the best movie of the year. I've not seen that one, Mahad, so I can't comment on that. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it is because I don't think it is. That's why. I don't think Transformers 1 is going to be the best movie of the year. I mean, this is typically the time when movies come out that are good. So we got Anora that's come out recently that I've not seen, that I really want to see. I've been talking about that film for months. What else did we come out recently? The Substance, is it called? We're going to have also a new film with Adrian Brody coming out, which should be fun. Oscar contender. So this is like the Oscar season. This is when all the good films come out. And I think end of last year is when the good films came out as well. I loved Anatomy of a Fall. So that was amazing last year. So guys, if you're new to the channel, so I do have a dedicated section called Best or Bad Movie Fights versus Good Movie Fights. So I do love movie fights, for sure. So we are going to talk about that. But I'm not going to lie, I do prefer my continental, my foreign films, my art house movies as well. But if there's a fight in an art house movie, then I'm winning both ways. Who else is here? We have got someone by the name of Jif. Hey there, I'm from Czech Republic. Hello. How you doing? How are you doing? Papa Hannibal, I know you wanted me to do some sort of Texan drawl. So at some point I'll delve into some tips for sure, without insulting anyone. I can't read your name here, but you're from Ukraine, and I hope you're safe and I hope you're well. And it's good to meet you. It's very good to meet you. Neil, you're from Commonwealth in Glasgow. Only followed for a few weeks. Good to have you on board, my friend. It's very good to have you on board. Hope you've been enjoying the videos thus far. We have got Connor from California. How you doing, Connor? How are you doing, buddy? Hey, opinions on a fight in the movie Gladiator? Well, we've got Gladiator 2 coming out, and I don't know why. That's the first thing. I don't know why we got Gladiator 2 coming out, but it's coming out. So what are we going to do? We're going to watch it. I think it should be good. I'm going to just temper your guys' expectations. Ridley Scott is making a lot of bad films nowadays, so it may not be that good, but the trailer looks okay, apart from the hip-hop music. I don't know what that was all about. But yeah. Substance is the best scary movie of the year. I've not seen it. I need to see it. Vasitas, it's been a really great year. Personally, for the movies I've really enjoyed the most were Furiosa, Joker, and Joker Folie d'Adieu. Top 5, Bike Riders, Monkey Man, and Dune Part 2. I didn't like Dune Part 2, but I get it. La Femme Nikita was probably considered art house despite having fights. Josh, absolutely right. I remember watching that film. I must have been about 11 years old when I saw it, and yeah, it was kick ass. I was like, this is amazing, but it's also in French, so it must be art house, but it's not really art house. It's really just an action movie. White Noise. Oh my God. $100 super chat. That is the biggest donation on the channel so far. I think the only person maybe who's come close is Vitaphone, I don't think Vitaphone's here, but White Noise, beautiful. Thank you very much for all the support. You've done super chats before on videos. You've commented on all the videos. Huge love since day one. Really appreciate that. Marcus, congrats on 50K subs. You're awesome. Thank you for all the hard work you do out here, and congrats to you and the cast and crew on the new film. Yes. So guys, if you don't know anything about me, so I've been doing YouTube for about a year now, just over a year, maybe 13 months. And I'm also a filmmaker. So I've made 6 feature films, and my most recent feature film won an award last week. So I had to go up and collect an award, which is really cool. And it's not out yet. So there's no trailer. There's no film out yet. We're still doing the festival circuit, and then we'll see what happens after that. But yeah, so my knowledge of film is, I'd like to think, pretty good. And if I'm winning awards, I like to think my knowledge is pretty good as well. If you go to my IMDb, you may go to the ratings and go, oh, but you got low ratings. How it comes? Well, I make my films for like under £100,000. So, you know, I haven't got Brad Pitt in the lead role. So, and I haven't got a studio behind me going, reviewer, give this film a good mark. So I haven't got the luxury of that, unfortunately. So when my films hit Amazon or Apple or whatever, they haven't got a huge backing behind them. So, you know, if you're Mr. Joe Blow and you've just turned on a film and you see a film for under 100K, you may not want to give it a good mark. But, you know, that shouldn't really be an excuse at the same time. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I tried to see The Substance, but I couldn't stand. Really? By the way, guys, we got 42 people, 43 people, 42 people watching. Could you hit the like button? That really helps the channel. I know I say it in every single video. You must be like, shut the fuck up and show me the goddamn fights. In fact, in general, you must be like, shut up. Stop talking about visceral. Stop talking about brutal. And just show me the bloody fight. Stop talking. I have to talk. Otherwise, it's called copywriting, and I'll be in a lot of trouble. White Noise, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships to, I don't know who got them. Whoever got memberships, put your hand up and I'll shout you out. But White Noise, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, your knowledge of film must be amazing. You love your content. Congrats on 50K. Thank you so much. Killed by a Bird. That is a hell of a name. So guys, I got really caught up talking about other stuff, and I didn't get to say hello to everyone. So I do apologize. Let me go back up. I've lost track of what I was doing. I've not seen Shadow Strays, Connor. Not seen that. Odarbrunn. Where are you from, Odarbrunn? And Tony from Maryland. Good to see you. Nice to meet you. Who else have we got here? I think I've caught up now, so I'm going to go back down to there. So guys, yeah, if you've got any questions about, I don't know, the channel, about any movie fights, about anything, hit me up with them. I may miss them. because I haven't got a moderator here, so I may miss them. If you do a super chat, I won't miss them. You don't have to do a super chat. I am going to try and catch them. But if you do, then I will get them because they'll be stored. But if you've got any questions, hit me with it. If you've got any concerns, any queries, I don't care about the concerns. But if you've got any queries, let me know. And if you've got any comments about the state of the films this year, I think it's been really bad. Like I just watched Alien Romulus and had a lovely poll on my channel. Don't know if you guys voted on the poll, but the question was, is Aliens a horror franchise? I don't think it is. And the poll suggests so as well, because the poll actually was very tight for a while, but it's now 55-45. I don't think it is a horror franchise. I think there's too many films in the series that are not horror based. There are horror elements in the films, granted. If you're scared of that kind of thing, I'm not, because I'm a big boy. But if you are scared of aliens, then of course it's a horror well, it's not a horror franchise, but there's horrific elements. But there's a lot of action and there's a lot of sci-fi. And you can have three genres for sure, but I would call Aliens more an action sci-fi franchise. But you know, what do I know? What do I know? Right, Josh. Why does Way of the Gun get no love? So Way of the Love, if anyone doesn't know what that is, Way of the Love, Way of the Gun is by Christopher McQuarrie, who's directed most of the Mission Impossible films. He made the film, I think, in 1999. So the reason why, Josh, it doesn't get any love is because it came out in 1999, which is notoriously known as one of the best years in film. I think it's the best year in film. So you had films like Fight Club and The Green Mile and Magnolia. No, Magnolia came the year after, and American Beauty and so forth and so forth. It's such a good year that Fight Club didn't get any Oscar nominations whatsoever. In fact, Fight Club went under the radar a little bit. So it came out in 1999. It might have come out in 2000. So can someone fact check me on that? It might have been 2000. But anyway, it wasn't a very huge film in terms of budget. It's a very low budget film. And it's a very you need to be really thinking. There's a lot of gunplay, but you need to really be in the right mindset, because a lot of the dialogue is very kind of ethereal, I would call it. That's probably why it doesn't get much love. And also Ryan Philippe kind of was cool back then, but he's not so cool now. And of course, James Caan was never big. Even when he made The Godfather, I think he made a couple of massive films then, but he's kind of disappeared for a while. So Benicio del Toro was essentially the biggest actor in the film. So probably why that happened. But I don't know. Awesome YouTuber, congrats on 50K. Thank you so much, Goofy. Thank you. Paul Smith. Where the Gun is extremely underrated criminal. Do you know what? The thing is, okay, so here's the thing about underrated films. I think that's kind of cool. Like, if a film's underrated, I think that's kind of cool. I like having my own little gems that you know about. You know about a film and no one else knows about it, or not a majority of people know about it. And that kind of makes you feel special, right? I kind of feel special when I know about a film that's amazing that no one else knows about, or a lack of people know about. I would say something like Looper is underrated. I don't think it's a great film, but I think it's underrated. I think when it first came out, it caused a bit of a splash, but it didn't exactly. No one really talks about Looper, do they? I know the second half is a little bit weak, but we will talk about that. Late 2019. I was right. I'm pretty good with film years. I thought I was right. What else we got here? Your top 5 movies to know. So Recitas, do you mean ever, or do you mean this year? Because you mean this year, I'm going to struggle. If you mean ever, then I'm not going to struggle. Is there a movie from your youth that made you feel a little bit more grown up when you watched it all the way through? Yeah, so I watched Le Han. Now, if you guys don't know what Le Han is, it's a film that's over here. I always point to that. It's over there. It's a French film made in 1995. Well, came out in 1995. We got a channel in the UK called Channel 4, and they used to show a lot of obscure films. And of course, it's a French film, so it's obscure, apparently. And I remember seeing that, and I must have been about 11 again, 12. So I was watching that film. I didn't really understand. It's a pretty basic story, but I didn't understand the French politics. Obviously, I wasn't old enough to understand that. But the story is very basic, and it made me feel like I was like 20. But I did see RoboCop at like 8 years old or something. So I was used to watching films that were quite mature for my age. Let's put it that way. Danehus K from Lithuania. I think you're the first person we've had from Lithuania, so nice to meet you. Is Ray Redemption underrated? Not me. Whoa, Connor, it's a great question. I don't think it's underrated, but you'll find, and I don't know if anyone else agrees with this, you'll find a lot of fight movies don't get a lot of attention. Unless it's a massive film, like, with an A-lister, they don't get a lot of attention. There's a lot of Scott Adkins films, unless you're really into fighting films, you don't really know about Scott Adkins as an actor or as any of his films, really. So I don't think a lot of fight films get the attention they deserve. And I think The Raid is exactly the same. I think even The Raid 2, not many people know about that as well. So I think it's just a genre thing, to be honest with you. Right, I have lost track. Where are we at? Here we go. Dude, Warrior needs to be in one of the videos, my guy. Warrior. So Ronin dude, cool name. Which Warrior? Do you mean Warrior with Tom Hardy? Because I haven't covered that yet, and I should. Looper is directed by Rian Johnson. It is. I know everyone doesn't like him. I know. I think the guy is a technically fantastic writer, and even with The Last Jedi, which I don't like, the writing is technically good. Even his crappy detective films, which I don't particularly like either, they're technically, the writing is extremely good. And I'm saying that as a writer, so don't shoot me down completely. It is technically really good. I don't think he always executes his writing very well. And I think sometimes he's too clever for his own good. So he tries to obscure and subvert the screenplays because he's just thinking ahead. And he's like, okay, if I do this, it's pretty cool. But it can be quite annoying. Receipts. Okay, best films, top 5 films this year. This is going to be very difficult because, as I said, I think the best films are coming out now because it's Oscar season. It's tricky. Let me sit on that for a bit. I think, I don't know. It's been pretty ropey. I can't even think of a good film. Can someone help me out? Name me some good films, and then I'll tell you if it's good or not. You mentioned bad films with good fight scenes a couple of times. Are there any films that come to mind with subpar? Yes, John Wick. So I know I'm going to get a lot of criticism. John Wick. I think the John Wick films, sorry if I am offending anyone, I think they're pretty bad. But the fight scenes are pretty cool. And if you watch tonight's episode of Good Movie Fights versus Bad, I'm just trying to think if it's in tonight's one. It might be in tonight's one. No, it's not. It's going to be in next week's one. I'm going to talk about John Wick. So I'll describe my true thoughts on that pretty soon. But I don't think they're good films. I really don't think they're good films. But hey, you've mentioned, okay, I've done that one. By the way, guys, again, this is 53 people in the chat. No, it doesn't seem like a lot, but this is the most we've ever had on a live stream. I've not done a live stream for about 3-4 months. So big thank you, first and foremost. Thank you for being here. Secondly, you guys are awesome. Thirdly, hit the like button and the channel can continue to grow and I can keep on doing amazing things. I think one of the most amazing things I've managed to do over the past couple of months was that film that Scott Adkins stars in, the directors became fans of the channel and they reached out to me to do a video on the film Accident Man 2, which I thought was just incredible. And one of the actors also reached out to me as well. So this is all because of you guys. Honestly, if you guys weren't watching the videos, if you weren't showing the videos love, sharing it, whatever you're doing, they wouldn't have seen the videos. And, we literally have Scott Adkins on our doorstep, which I think is just incredible. So thank you guys. That's so cool. I've missed so many of your messages. I'm so sorry. Do you want collector's edition of Looper to watch? I've got it somewhere. Hello again, Crazy Mark. I do remember your name. I don't want a copy of... I haven't got any physical media. I sold all my physical media, so I don't want a copy of Looper, but thank you so very much for the kind offer. Wow. Somaliland. I love that. Is that how far we've reached out to? Somalia. That's amazing. At least in Finland, Raid 2 and Wait. Really? Why in Finland? So Tony, tell me, what's the biggest ever film in Finland to come out of Finland? And who's the biggest actor in Finland? Because I don't really know many Finnish films. So let me know. The only thing I know about Finland is Jari Litmanen. It's the only thing I know about Finland. So help me out with that. Tom Hardy, Joel Egerton, and Nick Nolte. Yeah, that is the film. So I will cover that at some point in one of the videos. There's so many movies, guys. I could be doing these bad movie versus good movie fights forever. Like we're number 15 now, number 16 next week. I could be doing this forever. There's so many films. There's so many bad films with good scenes, like good fight scenes. There's so many good films with good fight scenes, and there's so many really bad, like really bad films with really bad fighting, right? Really. I can't wait to. In fact, watch tonight's one. It's coming out in 2 hours' time. There's a whole segment of bad films without me talking. So if you don't like my voice, perfect. You can just watch those bad films for like, I don't think it's like 5 minutes. There's so many in this. I love them so much. They're so cool. Venom movie, any good? Not seen it myself. I gave up after number 1. I was like, this is absolute. Hollywood's taking the piss. They're making films that are bad on purpose, and people are still going. So I'm not involving myself in that. Anora is the film I want to see. Let's talk about it for ages. Marcus, did I give you the idea for a live stream? Mackie, I don't think you did, but where did you put the suggestion? Was it on a comment, or was it well, obviously it was a comment. Where did you suggest it? I always knew that. I haven't done one for ages. I think, as you can see, guys, if you just joined, down here, 16K. That's the last time I did a live stream. That was about 3 months ago, 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. And now we're on 50. So it's an incredible achievement. And I'm going to thank you guys over and over and over again. Thank you very much. Right. So many comments. Yeah, so Recetas, this is what I'm waiting. I'm waiting for The Brutalist and Nora, and I want to see The Substance. And then I think at the end of the year, I can compile my top 5 list. I think right now I'm struggling to think of any good films, honestly. Dune 2, I didn't like too much. Yeah, I honestly can't think of any good films. I didn't like Alien Romulus too much, so it's not going to go in my top 5. Honestly, I've not been watching many films lately, guys. I despair. I've been watching a lot of TV. I can say my top 5 TV shows. Shogun is number 1. I'm loving Lioness. Have you guys seen Lioness Special Ops? Awesome show. That's number 2. And I'm not enjoying Penwing that much. Honestly, I don't know why. I really want to like it, but I'm not enjoying it. I'm in episode 2, and I just don't enjoy it that much. But have you guys seen Penwing? What do you think? Right, what else we got here? Love this one. Opinions on Perfume. Okay, so Perfume is a film with Ben Whistle, like you said there, Papa, in 2006. Directed by German director Tom Twicker, if I'm correct. Can someone fact check me on that? Tom Twicker did an amazing film called Run Lola Run in 1998, I think, or 1997, one of those 2 years. So I've been a huge fan of his work ever since, and it's a really interesting film, I'm going to say. Also, Tom Twicker was a co-director on the Wachowski sisters film with Cloud Atlas with Tom Hanks and Halle Berry. Just a little bit of facts for you guys there, but it's an okay film. Perfume. It's very obscure. And I don't remember much about it. I know it's very long, and it's okay. It's all right. Poland. Hello. How you doing? How are you doing, Pope? What a name. So guys, if you have just joined, and I think a few of you have, what we're doing tonight, I'm not going to be on for too long, maybe another 20 minutes, maybe a bit longer than that. You can ask me any questions you've got. We're celebrating 50K subscribers. I'm celebrating that with a bottle of water. I won't put the brand there, but there's a bottle of water here. I'm celebrating with that because I don't really drink. And we're gonna shoot the breeze. We might even watch some videos. I mean, why not? Why not watch some videos? Why not have a bit of a laugh? Because at the end of the day, you guys are the reasons why this channel exists. And I'm really only here because of you guys. I'm here because of you guys and moments like this. That's why I'm here. I'm here because of you guys and moments like that. Fantastically shot moments like that. Who didn't like Gappy? You didn't like Shogun? Come on. What are you talking about? It's the best film, it's best TV show, best anything this year. Best anything this year thus far. Best bit of media, best music. The best music I've heard this year, best film I've seen this year, best TV show I've seen this year. It's just chef's kiss. It's beautiful. Have you seen Amos Blue. I've not. What is that? Let me know, Vermin. Let me know. I'm loving the Penguin a lot. Honestly, I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. I just can't get into it. I just honestly, I don't know if he's trying to. The thing I didn't like about the Batman film was that it's too similar to Seven. Very similar. And the thing I don't like about this show is that it's very similar to The Sopranos in a way, like the mother with dementia. And there's a lot of things that I'm seeing, and it just feels very Sopranos-y. And obviously, Sopranos is way better. And I'm just like, we've got a Penguin, but I want a Batman. Like, why is there no? I get why Batman's not there. He's not going to intervene in some mafia shit. But honestly, I'm struggling with it. I'm going to finish it, but I am struggling with it. But anyway, it's all good. At the end of the day, it's nighttime. Love that. Super chat. Hello, I wanted to ask how much or when should slow-mo be used in film? With Zack Snyder, do you think he overused it in all his movies? Anything else? Okay, that's a fantastic question. Ricky, where are you from as well? Let me know where you're from. And anyone else who hasn't put where they're from, put where you're from in the chat. I'm so keen to know where you guys are all from. It's very cool. Very, very cool. I know where some of you are from already because I've spoken to you before, but the ones who I haven't spoken to, if this is your first time, just put where you're from in the chat. And also, have you hit the like button? Because we haven't. You're naughty. Sylvia, good to see you again. Got some controversial opinions. I'm hoping to see them. That's Muna. Muna. Hello, Muna. Okay, slow-mo. Slow-mo, I think Zack Snyder single-handedly made it the coolest thing in cinema. Between 300 and Watchmen, he made it the coolest thing in cinema. And then very smoothly and very quickly, it became the most annoying thing in cinema because everyone started to do it. So my answer to the question is right now, it shouldn't be used very often because I think it's just been overused. Obviously, The Matrix did it really well prior to that, but I think Zack Snyder broke it. He took the toy and he broke it. So I think him specifically should stop altogether. If you've seen Rebel Moon, you know what I mean. Like, it's pointless. It makes the scenes worse. And I think if you want to really exacerbate a moment, go for it. But honestly speaking, it should be kept to a minimum. It's like I used to love in my films that I used to make, I used to use close-ups all the time. And then I realized the more you use a close-up, the less value it has. And it's the same with slow-mo, same with anything in film. The more you do something, the less value it has. So if you do it more sparsely, it has more value. So I hope that answered your question. And thank you for the super chat. I do really appreciate that. Really do. I rewatched the first season of Gangs of London. The fighting is brutal. It's brutal. It is. And it was, some of them were directed by Gareth Evans, who did The Raid. Some weren't. And in season 2, none of it was directed by him, I think, or maybe one was. And season 2 is a shit show. Absolute shit show. Hello, I'm from the US. Hello, Taylor Fire. What part of the US? Let me know. Warrior, the TV series, which is Bruce Lee's TV series, right? He didn't get a chance to make it because he died before he got a chance to make it, if I'm correct. Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad, which is the best to start watching TV? So, hello. I've seen your comments before, Jay later. I thank you for your comments. I do appreciate them. I've seen them all. I think you made a comment about, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you mentioned Sinbad. I think. But anyway, to answer your question, I would start with Sopranos. I think it's more accessible. And then I would go into Breaking Bad and then maybe The Wire from there. Wire's quite complex. Breaking Bad's a bit more, maybe even Breaking Bad, to be honest with you. It's a bit more, there's a bit more action than in Sopranos. Have you seen Wild Tales? Phenomenal. I have seen Wild Tales. It's a Argentinian / Spanish film that came out in 2014. Someone fact check me, please. And it's an incredible anthology film. I've actually mentioned it on my channel in a video where I mentioned the 10 best films of the past decade. So I think it was 2014. That would make sense. Oh, there we go. Mackie, there we go. There we go. Hello, I'm from Russia. My bad, quietly. Okay. Nice to meet you. Born in the USA. Quicksilver scenes by Bryan Singer, X-Men are fantastic. I agree with that. I do agree with that. I am absolutely lost. You guys, so many comments. Thank you so much for all these comments. Dinner time. Enjoy yourself, Rositas. Thoughts on hardcore headache-inducing Henry? Okay, so Anchovy Hopkins. I've not seen Hardcore Henry. I've seen some scenes because I've put them in my videos, but I've not seen the whole thing, and I don't think I want to. It looks, like you said, like headache-inducing. Some films I'm just not, guys. I love film, but some films I'm never gonna watch. I'm never gonna watch Venom 2, Venom 3. I'm not gonna watch Hardcore Henry, I think. What's your favorite Oscar-winning performance for lead role from the 70s till now? Magnificent question. Ooh, I think the performance that should have won an Oscar but didn't was Al Pacino's in Godfather 1 or Godfather 2. I think my favorite Oscar-winning performance. Can someone fact check me on this? Did Christopher Walken win an Oscar for Deer Hunter? Because if he did, then maybe his. Maybe. There's so many though. Got Ellen Bergstein in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. I think she won the Oscar for that. Maybe she didn't actually. Fact check me, please. And then De Niro won for Godfather Part 2, where he plays Marlon Brando's character, which is a really amazing performance because he had to learn Sicilian for the role. So he went to Sicily, learned Sicilian, speaks Sicilian in the film. So maybe that one. But if you guys could fact check me on those, that'd be great. Hello, just Danish. Yo, what's up? What's up with you, Danish? How you doing? Hardcore Henry is fun, interesting piece of filmmaking. I'm not going to lie, it is an interesting piece of filmmaking. That kind of first-person perspective, Call of Duty type filmmaking. It's definitely interesting. But I don't know if I can sit there and I've done it before with a Korean film. If someone can, I put it in one of my videos. There's a Korean film that does the same thing, and it's too much for me. I need different angles and different shots and stuff. It's just too much. What's your opinion of Undisputed Bokya? So there's quite a few of those, right? Is there not like 2 and 3 and 4? I've only seen one of them, and it's really good. It's really, really good. So the one that I've seen is really good. It's the one when he goes to Russia or somewhere. He goes back to Russia. I don't know. I haven't seen all the films, so I don't really know what's going on. But he does go to a country in Europe and does some fights. I judge a film on whether it's good or bad, worth the rewatch. So guys, I got a question for you now. I'm getting lost with your question. Thank you so much for the questions, by the way. I don't think he did. Christopher Walken, you mean the guy who helped? Oh dear, Muna. Oh dearie me. Let me get that off the screen. Oh dear. Mackie, I did say that. Robert De Niro's performance is not my favorite. It's the best performance ever by an actor in Raging Bull, ever. I know you guys love your Daniel Day-Lewis's, but Robert De Niro's performance in Raging Bull is the best performance ever by an actor, a male actor at least. The horrible Doom film with The Rock and Carl Urban. Yeah. So here's the thing, guys. I got a couple of questions for you. I think my first question is, I'm liking this, Mackie. I'll come back to it in a second. First question is, your favorite films of the year. Could you name them? And then I can work out what my favorite film of the year is based on that. And let's stay with that. Let's stay with that. Let's go with that question, and then we can go from there. But Mackie, 5 action movies favorites. For me, it goes to T2, Infinity War, Casino Royale, Old Boy, RRR. Haven't seen Seven Samurai. I don't consider Kurosawa films particularly action. So, Mackie, let me go through those one by one. T2, for me, is the best action film ever. I agree. Infinity War is the only film that can maybe come close. But my problem with Infinity War, it's not my problem because I've watched those films leading up to it. But if you've not seen the ones leading up to it, it's kind of just doesn't make sense. But I have seen them. So for me, it's up there. I think I prefer Infinity War, but that's maybe revisit that in like 5-6 years because it's quite fresh still. Casino Royale is good, and it's my favorite James Bond film by a country mile. I'm not a huge James Bond fan. I don't dislike it, but I'm not a huge fan at the same time. And it's just a very good film. Old Boy, I wouldn't say it's an action film, so I'm going to disqualify that. RRR is brilliant. I'm not sure if it's the best action film ever, but it's definitely very campy and very fun. Seven Samurai is not really an action film. There's a massive action sequence at the end. Massive. I think it goes on for like an hour or something, like half an hour. But it's not really an action film. And I wouldn't say Kurosawa is an action director, but I think that's due to the limitations of filmmaking back then. Not many films were action films back then. It's quite a recent phenomenon, to be honest with you. The Horrible Doom. Okay, we've done that already. I'm probably like way behind. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Dune 2 has to be the best movie of the year. Hello, Freddie. Where you from, Freddie? I don't agree with you, but that's just, I don't like Dune 2. And I love Denis Villeneuve. I just don't like Dune 2. Marcus, I highly encourage you to watch Boy. So everyone keeps saying watch Boy Kills World, Boy Kills World. And I think I'm going to watch it. I don't like that guy, though. I don't like the lead guy. I don't like him. I do like his brother. His brother's pretty cool. I don't like him. I like his dad as well. His dad's in Dune 2. But I'm not a big fan. So I don't know if I'm going to watch it. But you know what? I'll watch it. I will watch it. Dune 2, Anora. You've seen Anora. Is it good? Look Back. What is that? Look Back. The Wild Robot, which is the animation, Transformers 1. Shogun cooks all of them, though. I agree with you. Shogun's just so good. So good. I recommend 3 Punisher movies. The acting, the music, the characters, the writing, the atmosphere, all fantastic. They all got possibly the best cinematography I've ever seen. Snipo, Pusher. Oh, not Punisher, Pusher. I don't agree with you, Snipo. I'm not disagreeing with you violently. I don't agree with you. I do think I've only seen 1 and 2. I've not seen 3. I do think 1's really interesting. I think 2's maybe a little bit better with Mads. They both got Mads Mikkelsen. But I don't think they are. What did you say here? Best cinematography. I don't think it's got the best cinematography ever, but especially the first one, because the first one's almost very raw, like an old school handheld camera. They're really good films. Very interesting director. So Danish film. Love me some Danish films. What else we got here? You guys are just so far ahead. Oh my god, it's crazy. D Doherty. Hello, D Doherty. Where are you from, D Doherty? And guys, if I've asked you where you're from, I've not followed up on that. I do apologize. As you can tell, I am getting crushed here. But keep it going. Keep it going. The final fight from the best of the best is the greatest movie fight ever. Fact. Best. Is that with Eric Roberts, Julia Roberts' brother? I've not seen it, if it is. Knock Goes Away, 2023 was pretty solid. Michael Keaton. Not heard of that. Hope it's good, guys. So I have to do some housekeeping here. There's many of you in here. Well, many of you for one of my streams. Could you hit the like button? I would love that. What that does, it helps the channel grow, and maybe one day I can have Scott Adkins on here and we can be doing a live stream with him, which would be pretty damn cool, huh? Or even the directors of Accident Man 2, get them on here. Yeah, guys, let's do this. Let's get those likes up. Thank you very much. How many likes have we got? 62 likes. We got more likes than people in the room, which is just damn amazing. I want to get 100 somehow. You guys are amazing. That's incredible. Have we got 62 likes with 40? Wow. I bet you Critical Drinkers not getting those kind of percentages. What the hell? 63 likes. Critical Drinkers not getting. That's like a 200, nearly a 200% like ratio going on there. That's incredible. You guys are amazing. Right, what else we got here? JT, in the context of the US election. So I'm not going to talk about the US election on this channel because I don't know anything about it. Well, I do, but I'm not American, so I have no skin in the game. Trump seems like he's fun. It was always fun when he was in charge. There was a lot of wild statements that he made, like, for example, you can drink bleach, can't you? You can do that, right? To get rid of COVID. He had to ask someone. He had to look behind him and ask someone if that's a fact. So that was fun. It was always fun when he was in the White House. It's a bit boring now with Mr. Old Man. So I don't know. It's fun. If you want fun, go for Trump. If you want some form of normality, go for the other party. That's what I would say. That's my professional advice for you guys in America. What else we got here? In terms of fantastic cinematography, Barry Lyndon and Fargo. So I would say Barry Lyndon 1000%. I saw that at the cinema about 5 years ago. Incredible. Do you guys say cinema in America and Finland and Russia and anywhere else? Do you say cinema? Do you say movie theater? It's an interesting one. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, Barry Lyndon is fantastic. Cinematography is wonderful. The story is brilliant. Stanley Kubrick's second best film, I think. Second best film. What else we got here? Did you watch Tenet? I love the action there too. Tenet is by far, not by far, but it's his worst film. I just can't do it. Like people say, just enjoy it. Just kick your mind off and enjoy it. I can't do that. So I don't enjoy it. And I don't like Dark Knight Rises as well because I can't kick my mind off there either. It's just nonsense. Goodfellas versus Taxi Driver. Goodfellas. Maybe. Kind of. Maybe. Tricky one. Very close though. Very close. Both when my daughter is faking your accent, she says cinema. So, Papa, I guess you're American and then you say movie theater. Is that correct? Do people in America say movie theater? I'm so confused. In America, they just say go to the movies. Okay. But what do you call the actual building? Do you call it the movies or do you call it the theater? Because over here, the theater is something very different. Over here, theater is two things. It could be an hospital or it could be that you're going to watch a stage show. So yeah, we and obviously our language came first, so we're correct and you guys are wrong. In Finland, we say movie theater or movies. Interesting. Grave of the Fireflies is crazy, sad, and good. Yeah, it's on my list of films to watch. I think it's on the IMDb. Is it 250? I've only got like 20 films to watch from there, and I've had that 20 sitting there for like 2-3 years. I've not finished them. Lion King's on that list of films I need to watch. I've not seen Lion King. So yeah, I've not rewatched. What's that film with Mel Gibson that he directed that's historically inaccurate? I've not rewatched that. I saw it as a kid, but haven't watched it recently, so I need to watch that. Tenet, terrible. Memento, fantastic. Memento might be his best film. Still might be his best film. Thoughts on Forbidden Kingdom? I've not seen it, but I have seen a couple of those fights with Jackie Chan and Jet Li, but I've not seen the film. Favorite movie composer? I love that. Has to be John Williams, just based on what? Jaws, Superman. If I'm wrong in the comments, let me know. Jaws, Superman, Star Wars. Has to be John Williams. If I'm wrong, let me know. I don't know much about movie composers, but if I'm wrong about that, correct me. I don't mind being wrong sometimes. That's the only way you learn. Hans Zimmer's close, I guess, but not really, because Superman, Star Wars, Jaws, Indiana Jones, I think. Like, come on. Back to the Future. No, he didn't do Back to the Future, I don't think. What else we got here? What else? Call it the movies. Theater. Does connote live drama or musical? I don't know what that means, Josh. On Back, I watched it about 10 years ago. Only once, never left my mind. Action there is really enjoyable. On Back, it's a strange one for me because I do enjoy it, but it's just the storyline is just so shite. And if you're making a fight movie, you don't have to have a great storyline. Like John Wick, for example, the storyline's absolutely appalling, but the fights are pretty good. On Back storyline is just, I think I preferred The Protector because it's a phrase. I mean, both films are very similar. Like he lost something, he needs to go and get the thing, and then he goes to get the thing by beating loads of people up. I'm fine with that, like the basic premise, but I don't know. I mean, the action's fantastic. So JT, no, it's not the Patriots. The other one's the Scottish one. What's the Scottish one called, you guys? What's the Scottish one called? Let me know in the comments. Hot take. Raging Bull is terrible. I don't know if I even want to finish the rest of what you're about to say here. I've not even read the whole thing. But when you make a statement like that, yeah, I'm going to have to read the whole thing. I need to see what you're saying. Just De Niro yelling at the only dialogue that comes Okay. You know what? I'm going to come back to that later on. Actually, never mind about Pusher. Apocalypse Now is possibly my favorite cinematography. Yeah. Space Odyssey 2001 looks gorgeous as well. There's so many films with great cinematography, especially nowadays because everything looks good. Braveheart, that's the one. Hello, Crazy Mark. Appreciate you too. You and Drinker need to get together and do a stream. Yeah, why not? Drinker, if you're watching, let's get together and do a stream. I've not watched Critical Drinker stuff in quite some time, maybe like a month or so. So I don't know what he's a clever guy. He talks about things that are like happening now, and I should probably do the same thing. I should probably jump on the cultural zeitgeist and talk about things that are happening now, as opposed to talking about Apocalypse Now or Raging Bull. That doesn't seem too smart, but here we are. The fight scenes in the first Purge were so good with my good friend. He's not my good friend. What's his name? Who's in the Purge again? He's in the Before Moonlight thing. Ethan Hawke. Love him. Great actor. Mudakun score for the thing gives me more chills than Scotland in December. Danny Elfman. What did Danny Elfman do? Sorry, Josh, I've completely lost. What did Danny Elfman do? Was that some other score for something else? Dude, you should do a weekly movie recommendation list or something. Need a Discord. So Papa, so I already post 2 videos a week, and believe me, that kills me. Honestly, these ones. So guys, if you don't know, I've got a video coming out in 1 hour and a half. So I'm gonna have to leave the stream, obviously, because I can't be on stream and also have a video out. That's silly. But those videos, the script takes 3 hours to write. Like, honestly, it takes 3 hours to write, and then to edit it's like 4 hours, and then to go through it and fact check and everything is, those videos, and I'm doing that weekly as well. So that's just one video, and then the other video takes a bit less time. But I don't think I can also do a movie recommendation, but I might just put it on the community page. But honestly, it would have to be old movies because I can't recommend any new movies because they're all shit. In Poland, it's cinematography. So basically, cinematographer. Cinematographia. So similar to cinemas, yeah, cinematography, yeah. John Williams, Danny Elfman, Hans Zimmer are all goated in my opinion. Zimmer, my favorite, just because of the game soundtracks. The game. What game? Game of Thrones, or what do you mean? But I do love Hans Zimmer, and in theory, he's probably done more than John Williams in terms of massive films. But E.T., I think he done E.T. as well. Star Wars, Superman, Jaws. It's a knockout for me. It's an absolute knockout. On back, don't throw the baby. Clint Mansell is, I agree with you. Clint Mansell, who is Steven Soderbergh's composer. In terms of stories and fight movies, I personally love The Raid 2. So, Snipo, I keep hitting on your comments for some reason. So this is the last time I'm going to hit on one of your comments for now. I think the reason why The Raid 2 is not good is because of the story. And I think Gareth Evans as a writer is not very good. And that's why The Raid 1 is very good, because the storyline is so very basic. And I think if you've seen his other work, you know that his storylines are not very good. That's his problem. He needs to improve upon that. But as a filmmaker, he is fantastic. Braveheart, that's the one. How many films have you seen? Obviously, doesn't need to be specific numbers, but if you'd like to take a take on how many, guess. So, Mr. Potato, nice to meet you. You've been on before, I believe, because that name rings a bell. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. 500, maybe 1,000. I don't know. I tend to watch more quality than quantity. So if I hear a film's bad and I know it's bad, I won't watch it. So I don't have the time for it. Which is why I keep talking about the IMDb 250 list and how I've seen pretty much every film on that list. So I'm a bit of a snob, a film snob. Psycho Toro. Tony Jaa in Warrior King is one of the best fight takes ever. Love on back to big agree about the story. I've not seen Warrior King, but I've heard about it. It's a Braveheart. Historically unfactual. Unfactual. Back to Future composer is Alan Silvestri. Yes. Thank you for that. Mansell score at the end of the Requiem for a Dream. Yeah, my God, that last 10, 15 minutes of Requiem for a Dream is graphic, so graphic, but the way it's edited, the music, just wow, what a film. Oppenheimer had the worst fight. Oh dear. I vote for Drinker Marcus collab. Some of too. I think the Drinker found himself in a creative rut and could do with some originality. Oh, I'm not going to comment on the Drinker. The Drinker. I'm not taking on the Drinker. I'm just going to say hello, Mr. Drinker, and leave it there. Please use Dan versus Captain from Deadwood. You have, have you mentioned that before? Donald's angry because I've seen that comment before, and it's an incredible fight, incredible TV show. If if you guys don't like Raging Bull because of the swearing, do not watch Deadwood because the swearing is excessive. It's worse than Raging Bull. I'm learning good things about the Clint Eastwood film. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm hearing good things about. I've heard good things about that as well. And Clint Eastwood is a very underrated director. He's very kind of by numbers director, but when he knows how to tell a story, and I'm hearing good things about that too. So I'm sure it's going to be good. Some of the best movie soundtracks of all time. Danny Elfman. Are you a fan of Taylor Sheridan? So, Jesse, have you just joined? So, at the beginning of the chat, I said my favorite two things I've seen this year are Shogun, which is just head and shoulders above everything else I've seen, including films. And also, I love Lioness Special Ops. Now, has anyone else seen Lioness Special Ops? Season 1 was a couple of years back, or maybe last year. Season 2 has just started. We're on episode 2. That is by Taylor Sheridan. And if you love Sicario, if you love, what's that film with Chris, one of the Chris's, Chris Pine. There's a Western with Chris Pine. If you love Taylor Sheridan, watch Special Ops Lioness. It's better than Penguin, in my opinion. I know many are not going to agree with that, but I think it's better. Lord Hoss. Hey, Marcus, love the channel and your videos. Keep up the good work. Looking forward to the Raid versus the Raid 2 Best Fights video. So, Lord Hoss, I think you made a comment and said you wanted that particular video, and I will attack that video. I just feel like I've leaned into the Raid so much over the course of the volume so far. That'd be really cheap to just do it again. So I will do that, though, because it's a really good, really good suggestion. So thank you for that. Elfman did do Batman. That is correct. Could you do a Deadpool versus Wolverine video? I have done that, Shago. So in the week, I do a versus video. So we have a film versus the film. And I had Deadpool versus Batman versus Superman. So if you just go onto my videos and you'll find it there. And I do talk about one specific scene. I'm not going to talk about the whole film because I don't do that, but I will talk about the scene. If you want to talk about the film, I think it was okay. I think it's really fun, but it doesn't really change the Marvel universe. And it doesn't need to necessarily, but it does feel like the rest of the Deadpool film, like a very isolated film where I feel like the consequences mean nothing, which kind of brings the film down, in my opinion, because, you know, if the consequences mean nothing, why am I watching the bloody film? Unless it's an all-out comedy. If it's an all-out comedy, then sure, but is it an all-out comedy or is it actually part of the Marvel universe? I'm just confused. Reservoir Dogs also has fantastic cinematography. The movie is all-round fantastic. So, Snipo, I have to disagree with Reservoir Dogs having fantastic cinematography as well. I'm not trying to put you down at all, believe me, but I don't think he's got fantastic cinematography per se. Like, because it does. Because if you look at the cinematographer, he's only done that film. And then did he do Pulp Fiction? I don't think he even did Pulp Fiction. Maybe he did. Someone can fact check that. That would be good. But he's not like a well-known, amazing cinematographer. He's just nobody really. So it's not really. It's a great film and it looks good for sure. But I wouldn't say it has great cinematography per se. And it's quite a cheap film. It's like, I think it's made for like a $1 million, $2 million. So it's not. But I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. So I'm not trying to disparage you, by the way. He's made a lot of great video soundtracks. It's Danny Elfman again. Got 64 people in here, guys. Wow, that is by far the most. Guys, could you hit the like button? We've got 85 likes to 60 people in here. That is incredible. That is by far the most we've ever had. And again, the ratio on that is mad. It's mad. I'm going to make up a number. The ratio on that is probably like 250%. I know that's wrong, but it's probably like that, even though it's not that. Williams, Oscar, Jaws, Star Wars, E.T., and Schindler's List as well. I'm sorry, it's John Williams, isn't it? It's John Williams. End of story. He's the greatest composer ever, apart from Tchaikovsky and the other ones. It's a bit of a joke. Stuart Copeland from The Police has done it. A bit of movie. Okay. Kings of London's good though. Hey, Vinny. It's season 1's good. Season 2 is not good. And season 1 is good, not because of the convoluted story. It's just good because the action's good. So, yeah, and Raid 2, the storyline's incomprehensible. It's nonsense. It's the reason why the film, for me, is just below Raid 2. And he's also got another film coming out, Havoc, which has been in post-production for about 4 years. And I'm assuming that's to do with the script again, because it's not going to be anything to do with the action. The action, for sure, is fantastic. So I do think his main Achilles heel is his script writing. And again, it's not, he's an action director for me. I think he doesn't want to be an action director. And that's why he's so intent on making such convoluted storylines. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I personally just think he should just focus on the action, keep the stories really simple, and he'd be the best action director in Hollywood. That's my humble opinion. Dude Marcus, you've seen Perfume, remember, at the top of your head. Dear. Sniper Great Call, Blade Runner score, all-time great. Vangelis. I can never say that name, but I know exactly who that is. Favorite Indian films. Been watching Indian films since I was 5 years old. I personally think that in terms of modern films, it goes to RR. The Manjamal Boys and Kathy, definitely give those a watch. I shall do. I'll try to. I shall try to. Ennio Morricone, Alex North. Well, you guys know your composers. You guys, I know all these names. I just don't care. And that sounds really bad because it's a part of filmmaking, and it's a huge part of filmmaking. Hans Zimmer and all these names you mentioned are huge parts of filmmaking. I just personally don't care. So I don't sit there thinking who the best composer is, because I personally don't care, but I respect that you guys do care about composers, and they should get all the love. And stuntmen as well. Stuntmen don't get enough love as well. Just got here. Have I missed anything from... Hello, Kenny. Good to see you again. So, Kenny, what you've missed is we're celebrating 50K. I've got a video coming out in 1 hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to leave the stream in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thanking you guys magnificently for your amazing contribution over the past year, not just in the past few months, the past year. Some of you guys have been here since day one. Really appreciate that. So, pure love to you guys, absolute pure love. And then also, we're just talking about the best films of 2024. And if you guys have got any questions for me about myself, the channel, the fights, anything, then I'm trying to keep up with them. I'm losing track. You guys have gone off on a wow. You guys have gone off on I'm way behind you guys, by the way. So yeah, just keep putting your stuff in there. If you send, I'm not trying to get money off you guys, but if you send a super chat, I will see it. If you haven't sent a super chat, then I probably will miss it. And I'm not doing that on purpose, but that may happen. So I'm just picking out random things. So in the comments, write questions and stuff. And if I see it, I will definitely respond to it 1025%. So yes, thank you. Right, what else we got here? Been here since your Rebel Moon videos. Whoa, Mackie. That is time ago. That is months and months ago. That was when I did a whole video taking the piss out of Rebel Moon and Zack Snyder. By the way, so I do think Zack Snyder is a good director, but I do also think he's got the issue that Gareth Evans has, which is the writing is just so poor. So poor. Oh, God. You're almost at 100 likes. Make sure you hit the, yeah, boy. 6 more. Can we do it, guys? Can we do 6 more? Because if we do 6 more, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Or I might even do this. probably won't do that. But I might do the head nod. I might do that instead. What else we got here? I liked the Dawn of the Dead remake and not much else from Mr. Zack Snyder. I loved the Dawn of the Dead remake when it first came out. I did revisit it a couple of years back, and it's not that great. Sorry, it's okay. It's okay. 300 is his best film. Surely. Do you guys agree? Zack Snyder's best film is 300. Does anyone disagree with that? Let me know in the comments. Do the dance. Do the dance. What movie is a clip from? I always forget. So the head nod is from a Robert Redford film, which name escapes me. And the dance is from I don't know. I don't know what film that's from, but it's from a Van Damme film. You guys can help me out in the comments and let me know what it's from. That's it. Jeremiah Johnson. That's the one. Jeremiah Johnson. I do love the first Universal Soldier film with Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. So if you guys kindly watch the video tonight, you'll see that there is a Universal Soldier segment in tonight's video. So look out for it. Look out for that. Kickboxer. Is it from Kickboxer? Interesting. Never actually seen that film. I'm not a huge Van Damme fan. Not a huge Seagal fan. Not a huge Van Damme fan. So I don't really watch those films. As I said, I'm a bit of a film snob, but I do watch the action scenes because they're okay. All right. What else we got here? I disagree. I love Watchmen. Okay. Who else disagrees with me? Who else thinks 300 is not Zack Snyder's best film? Is Cohen in here? Cohen's not in here, is he? Is Cohen in here? Paul Smith, Jeremiah Johnson. Oh, he is. There we go. Cohen. My favorite cinema experience this year was Civil War and Wild Robot. Lame, I know. So Cohen, first of all, congratulations on your team sacking your manager, because I think you're a Man United fan. So well done. Second of all, terrible result at home today. I really hope you're a Man United fan, or this segment's just a complete waste of time. And then third of all, good to have you in the room. And fourth of all, thanks for all the reshares on Twitter or X or whatever it's called. And you're one of the day oneers. So thank you so much. I like them both, Watchmen and 300 too. So I'm not going to say anything about Watchmen because I know there's a lot of Watchmen stands in here, and I don't want you guys to, send me abuse. But I'm not a huge fan. I think it's really bad. That's my take on it. So I did say I wasn't going to say anything about it, and I just completely trashed on it. But hey, yes, you are a United fan. Yes, indeed. So congratulations on. I'm a bit scared that you've got a new manager. But anyway, I know you talked about the slow, boring zombies being bad. Now, what's your take on what's this? World War? Is this World War II? World War Z with Brad Pitt. I think they are fantastic. I actually really like that film. Can't remember anything about it, but I remember at the time I was like, this film ain't so bad. I know it was getting trashed. It got pushed back for like a year to do reshoots because they got Mark Forster to direct it. Mark Forster directed Quantum of Solace, that James Bond film, which is not very good. He also directed Finding Forrester, I think. And he directed that Peter Pan film with Johnny Depp. Guys, fact check me on these. I'm just going off on tangents. But he's not a good action director, so they should never have got him to direct that film. That was a really, really, really bad choice. But it's a good film, and I think they got rid of him and got someone else in to finish up the job. Right. Josh, don't get me wrong, 300 is a decent film, but my benchmark is whether I want to watch it again, and I never did. Interesting. Okay. It's a good benchmark, to be honest with you. In fairness, though, I wouldn't say my benchmark is if I want to watch a film again. Because for me, there's two types of films, or there's loads of types of films, but specifically speaking in this sense, there's films that you want to watch over and over again, for sure. But I would say they're more fun. Like I've watched Anchorman so many times, but it's not one of the best films of all time. It's probably one of the best comedies of all time, but not one of the best films. And then a film like Come See Me, which is a masterpiece of a film. If you guys have not seen Come See Me, watch that film. In 1985, I think. Brilliant. I think it's part Russian, part something else film. Anyway, amazing film. but I don't want to watch that film ever again, as long as I'm maybe 10 years time from now. But it's just a harrowing film that you wouldn't want to watch. Like Schindler's List, for example. I don't want to keep watching that over and over again. So I don't know if that I would use that as a marker to say if a film's good or bad. If you want to rewatch it, because I've rewatched Wizard of Oz, as you can probably see. It's like a picture there somewhere. So many times. It's my favorite film ever. But it is one of the best films of all time for sure, but it's not the best film of all time. So I wouldn't say that is a marker of a great film per se, if you believe that. John Claude was the king of VHS tape on my own. 100 likes. Oh my, 102 likes. You guys, we got 40 concurrent viewers and 102 likes. The maths on that is definitely 200%. Surely. Well, there's 54 of you in here and 102 likes. So it's basically 200%. Again, critical drinker, eat that. I bet you haven't got those kind of percentages, my boy. David Fincher is back with a Squid Game series remake, and he will direct a movie called Beetroot. David Fincher's directing a Squid Games TV series. I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he might direct the first episode, but not all of them. Why would you do that? You don't need to remake Squid Game. That's so dumb. Come and see. Thank you, Muna. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Harold Maude is a great film that I'll never rewatch. Yeah, so Pete, that is what's his name? 70s director, 80s director, 90s director. Paul Thomas Anderson's favorite director. That's one of his films, isn't it? I've never seen it myself, but I've heard good things. We agree to disagree then. We do. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Redford time. It is Redford time. Oh my God, it's Redford time. Let's do this. And we shall not forget.
Hey, those little creeps are sure ugly.
Oh yeah, I'll show you ugly.
Well, you guys are just epic. Absolutely epic. Thank you so much for those 102 likes. If you've just joined, please hit the like button. We can go up to even more likes, and then the video will get shared. And then one day we might have some famous people on this channel. That'd be cool. Fincher is amazing. Fight Club 7, Social Network, Zodiac, Gone Girl. Yep, totally agree. Can't even argue with that. 3 Days in the Condor is a great book and movie. 3 Days in the Condor, 70s movie, right? Am I right, Josh? Is that Robert Redford again? Maybe. Oh dear. So I'm going to go to the super chat and I'm going to go to a starred comment now. It seems the most great films are the ones you don't... yeah, I totally agree. So I think for me, the best films I've ever seen, for two reasons. I don't like watching things that I like, that I think are masterpieces over and over again. I don't like reusing them because you kind of lose the magic. So I do the same thing with music as well. If I really like a song, I find, and this is maybe an overgeneralization here, and if there's any woman in the comments, do slap me in the face if this is wrong. I find that girls tend to listen to the same song they love over and over and over again, and guys tend to not do that. Could be wrong. Sidney Pollack directed, yeah, Robert Redford. I know my shit. I knew that. Okay, so what we got here? Hello, I wanted to ask how much... Okay, we've done that one. Got another one here. This is the Raging Bull, so I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Mackie, what do you think of the video games compared to movies, like writing, action, world building, and many more? Do you think they have the same quality? So I've just started Call of Duty Black Ops 6, is it? Whatever it's called. Call of Duty 6. I don't know what it's called. But I've just started it. And the writing and the storytelling is just as good as any modern day movie. And that says more about modern day movies than it does about video games. But the quality of video games now and TV shows are here with movies. In fact, they're here with movies. So I think there's so much value in video games now. And if you like video games, you're living in a great time. But I would say video games also were better maybe 10 years ago as well. So that's what you had, like The Last of Us, the first Last of Us. We had Red Dead Redemption 2. We had the Batman games as well. So I think the quality of games are tailed off as well. I think we have a writing problem in the world. I think everyone's trying to subvert away from what is essentially a very simple formula: Act 1, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. You have a good guy, you have a bad guy, but everyone's trying to be a little bit too smart and making shit. Thank you very much, thank you very much, Pepper Hannibal, for your super chat. Really appreciate that. Hey, Marcus, could you give us a brief history of your role in the film industry? Yes, I can. I will do. Let me start that, and I'll do that in a second. It's going to be very brief, though. I don't want to bore you guys. I don't really like talking about myself because I didn't make the channel to talk about my own filmmaking, but I do feel like sometimes I do need to mention it just to, so you guys know who I am a little bit. But I don't like going on and go and saying to you guys, go and watch my films, because that's not why I made the channel. Tom Meller. Is that for me, Tom? I love you too. If it's not for me, then I still love you. Recitas is back. Love that. A lot of talented writers have migrated. Yes, they have, Matty. They have. And that's why TV now is way better than film. And there's more work in TV than there is in film as well. I mean, RDR2 is one of the best media in general. It came out in 2018, I think. So okay. Yeah, can't argue with you. It's fantastic. It really is. I prefer Uncharted, and I do prefer the first Last of Us to Red Dead Redemption, but the quality is fantastic. Even like Call of Duty and stuff like that, the quality is fantastic as well. So in Peru, this week is finally released Godzilla -1. Oh my God, you guys are just getting that now. What's going on over there in Peru? Come on, Peru. What's going on over there? Terrible. You should definitely watch it if you haven't. Have you seen it then? Let me see. It was really amazing and it easily beat almost anything. So did that come out this year, guys? I think it came out last year. I think Godzilla -1 came out last year because it got Oscar nominated. So it definitely came out last year. So it is the best film I've seen this year, but technically it's a film from last year. So I can't say that's the best film I've seen this year, if that makes sense. Tom, it's definitely for you. As soon as I've seen you've uploaded a video, I drop everything. Tom, thank you so much. Another video coming in 1 hour's time. Big countdown. Volume 15. If you guys have been amazing and given me 106 likes on this video, I would love it if you could watch the video at 9:30, share it, like it, get it into the algorithm. Let's get loads of views on that video. That would be stunning. You guys are fantastic. I'm not just saying that as well. You guys are actually awesome. Godfather -1 is fantastic. It is, but I think it is last year. Love Shogun. How Chernobyl for a recent good. Yeah, Chernobyl is really good. I don't like. I keep saying this. I don't like the fact the accents are British. I love my historical dramas to be historically accurate. So when Ridley Scott released Napoleon this year, right? I didn't watch it. I'm like, I do not want to hear Joaquin Phoenix with an American accent playing Napoleon. We're not in 1981. Like, come on. At least try the accent or just don't do the film. Use someone else. It came out last year, but here in Peru, yeah. I've been waiting for you to touch on Tenet for a while, and you responded. You might just okay. So I'm gonna put you on star, and I'm gonna tell you about Tenet in a minute. Jesus, I forgot about Chernobyl. I felt the pure dread. Yeah, it's a really good show, but I just don't like the accents. White Noise, you're king, my friend, absolute king. All right, so 2 things. Let me do this first. Raging Bull. Okay, so Mackie had Mackie did this to me. When Mackie sent me this, I was like this.
You get your fucking hands off me.
That's how I felt. I felt violated like a mofo. Raging Bull is just, it really isn't just De Niro shouting, It's not. He does. There's so many moments where he's just quiet and poised, and there's anger in his eyes. There's so many moments when Joe Pesci and him are just riffing off each other, just doing ad lib. There's so many moments of just sheer brilliance from Scorsese, just slowing things down and bringing the music out, and then bringing the music in, and the if you want to talk about cinematography, the cinematography in that film is stunning. It's beautiful. It's truly one of the greatest films ever made. So I don't agree with you, but it doesn't mean that I'm right. Well, it kind of does, because if you look at the aggregates on the internet, it does suggest what I'm saying is correct. But, you know, we all have different likes for film. So again, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I am saying that I'm right. So there you go. Tenet, I'm not going to do that now. Hey, Marcus, could you give a brief history of your role in the film industry? Okay, cool. So very brief, I started making short films, as everyone does. So I've made a few short films. Some of them are flipping awful. And that's how you learn. You learn by making mistakes. So if anyone wants to get into film, I would suggest you start making films. Even if you pick up your phone and you shoot with your phone, and that's a cliche, but do it. Make shit. That's my advice. Make absolute shit, because you'll get better and better and better. Especially if you're watching other filmmakers and you learn from them, you'll get better and better and better. I made my first feature film in 2016 called 6 Rounds, which is a boxing film set in the UK, very much inspired by Raging Bull. And then I've made feature films since then. I'm also, at my day job, I help people get into TV shows and into films. So I have an agency that does that. And we've got someone on the Edgar Wright film. So she was on set on the new Edgar Wright film on Thursday. So that was being shot in London. And she went down there. She's got she's got a talking role, but it's quite a small role. So that's what I do. So I have had conversations with casting directors of Edgar Wright films. And if you name any Hollywood film, I've probably, like Dune 2, I've had people on the Dune 2 film. So that's what I do, day job. And then my recent film won an award a couple of weeks ago. So I had to go up on stage last week, Friday, and collect my award, which was really, really humbling and really, really exciting and really nerve-wracking. So yeah, that's my brief history in the film industry. And what I'm going to do next, I don't know. I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing now on YouTube. I will always do this until I don't want to do this. And I guess I'll always make films as well. But right now I'm feeling creatively dry when it comes to making films, because I just feel the industry is kind of dead. And you get a film out there, and just Joker 2, guy. Joker 2 is already on Amazon. It was out. I know it's shit to some people. I thought it was okay. I know it didn't make any money, but how can Joker 2, one of the biggest films of this year, be out in the cinema or movie theaters literally 3-4 weeks ago, and now it's on Amazon? That concerns me, hugely concerns me, because that means the window between cinema release and the ability for people to download the film for free by pirating it is so small. So films are making less and less money, and the quality is showing, because most films are crap. All right. Been waiting for you to touch on this for a while. Tenet. I've spoken about it before on the stream. I've spoken about it on videos before. It's a fucking awful film, and I hope I don't get demonetized for saying that, but it's just awful. It's just terrible. It's terrible. It's a bit like the Rian Johnson thing. It's Christopher Nolan going, I'm much more clever than you guys, so I'm going to subvert some tropes and do some fun shit. And he's having fun. And technically, as always, it's a fantastic film. Technically, it's a fantastic film. But story-wise, it's absolutely woeful. It doesn't make sense. If anyone can tell me it does make sense, then let me know. But it doesn't seem to make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, then what's the point? And on top of that, it's not engaging. Like, Inception is engaging. Like, you're engaged in it from the minute that DiCaprio washes up on the beach to the minute we have the water coming through the restaurant. It's just an incredible film. Whereas Tenet is just absolute fucking dog shit. Sorry. Thank you very much, Cohen. Really appreciate that. Appreciated. Do agents still get new actors, clients onto quiz shows to help them boost their profiles? They don't really. They would advise they don't go on quiz shows and stuff like that. They would advise they don't do commercials as well, because you kind of get a bit of a rep. But a lot of the major actors who in Hollywood now, like Keanu Reeves and I think Brad Pitt as well, started in commercials. So yeah. Pete, Hollywood is broken. They aren't looking for anything decent. What did Pete say initially? Let me see. Is that from that? It's a good question. Good answer. Yeah, Tenant's just honestly waste of time. Waste of time. Joker 2 is an Amazon. Joker 2 on Amazon is fair game. They need to get the sales back somehow. Yeah, Tom. So again, I haven't got an issue with them trying to make the money back, but my problem is the window. You cheapen your film, and I hate to say that because my films on Amazon are on Amazon as well. But the minute you and we had the same thing in 2020 and 2021. The minute you have your film, it's one of the reasons why Nolan left Warner Brothers and now makes films for Universal is because they start to put his films directly onto streaming. Dune 2, for example, if Dune 2 was in cinemas and then suddenly went into streaming straight away, it would cheapen the value of the film. Now, I understand Dune 2 is a way more successful film, but the minute you start doing that and having an actor like Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, who are massive actors, appearing on your streaming services after 3 weeks of being in theaters, you cheapen those two actors, you cheapen the director, you cheapen the film, you cheapen the industry. And that's my issue with it. If we keep doing that, then there's no point in doing film. They might as well just do TV. Honestly, Netflix might as well just take over everything. So the art and the beauty of film is, in my opinion, just being destroyed by streaming services, putting films onto streaming services too early, and not enough films going to cinema. Good films going to cinema as well. But hey, I do love myself some early Bryan Cranston. Tenet didn't seem too confusing to me. There's some plot holes that appear and hyper. Yeah. So I've heard that as well, but honestly, I just don't care enough, and that's the problem. I don't care. Like if it had Looper's got loopholes in it, but I enjoy Looper because the storyline's pretty engaging. So if the storyline's engaging, you can have as many loopholes as you like. But if I'm not engaged, if I'm not interested, then I start looking at the loopholes and I go, well, that doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? Nolan or Tarantino? Whoa, guys, in the chat, all I want you to do is put QT or Chris. QT or Chris. And then I'm going to let you know who I think is who. Tenet wasn't great. Totally agree. The whole of the premise of Tenet was so nonsensical. Nolan for action. Yeah. Still can't believe Dune 2 got so much love when the duel and the crown was always Dune 1. Agree with you, Cohen. Dune 1 is amazing. We've got loads of QTs here. Loads of QTs. Oh my God. Yeah, Pete. That's, you know what? I went to a screening of one of my friend's films yesterday. And he's made a really cool low budget film, and it was at cinema yesterday, which was really cool for him. And me and my friends were saying, I remember the days when a film would be released in America in January and you wouldn't see it in the UK in cinema till like September. And it would make you really excited to watch it. And there was no way around it at all. And then I think we need to get back to those days somehow. That will make films more magical again, won't it? Nolan for emotional connection, neither. So many QTs here, guys. My God, QT is winning out. You're gonna love my video tonight. Then you're gonna love the video tonight. That's all I can say. QT. No, Christopher Nolan's getting no love here. Getting no love. I feel like QT films are more memorable and unique in general, but I prefer Nolan films personally. Okay, there's one love for him. Till I'll close off the topic. Out of all that happens in the film, I more so view it under the lens of action and vibe. Okay, cool. So if you're taking it under the lens of technical ability, it's a Nolan film, so it's always going to be incredible, always going to look good, sound good. Well, can't really hear the dialogue, but apart from that, it sounds good. It's acted okay because he doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't get the best performances out of people. He gets performances out of people that he knows services the plot, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it's okay in that sense, but storyline is just awful. QT best. Ooh, that's probably the best way to do it. So what is the best Nolan film? What is the best Quentin Tarantino film? Well, Pulp Fiction is the best film either of those two directors have made. So QT does win. And I would say the closest that we have to Pulp Fiction for Christopher Nolan would be maybe Dark Knight, as much as I don't want to give it that because it's a superhero film, but it is probably Dark Knight. Inception, Interstellar are probably the best theatre experiences I've ever had. Do you know what, Primus? I actually think my best recent cinema experience is his war film. What's it called? No one ever talks about the film. I completely forgot about the film as well. But that's probably the best experience I've had. I was like gripping onto my seat because it was just, I mean, I don't think it's a great film, but as going to the cinema was brilliant. That's why it's just whoa. You go Dunkirk. That's the one. Dunkirk. Yeah, it's just it was gripping. Like I was holding to my seat. It was like this, the noise, the atmosphere was fantastic, very engrossing. And because the storyline is very intertwined, you kind of feel like you're also being constricted, and it felt really good. Well, felt really anxious, but Interstellar felt good at cinema as well. Inception was incredible at the cinema. I have to agree with that. It was really more so than Interstellar, I'd say. Inception for me. But that's just my humble opinion. Especially if you've seen Space Odyssey 2001, Interstellar's not as good as you think it is, if you've seen that. Oppenheimer, Operation Mincemeat. What? Hateful Eight, Inception. Hateful Eight. Let me go back to that. Frank 79C. Are you saying Hateful Eight's a good film? Because I think it's his worst film by far. I actually find Oppenheimer as one of my best cinema experiences. Interesting. It's very loud. I'll give you that. Nolan for special effects, Tarantino for attention to detail. I like it. Interstellar is more interesting filmmaking for me than Dark Knight. Dark Knight is not that great. Wow, really? I used to say the same thing. I used to really not like it, and then I watched it again. I was like, "This is damn good." It is. It's so good. I'm not a huge Batman fan at all. I think the guy's mad. I think any man in a cape running around killing people is not particularly how I want to live in society. But I do like The Dark Knight, and I do like Batman Begins as well. But I get what you're saying. Death Proof is very good. It's okay. Death Proof. Agree about Hateful Eight. Are you guys saying Hateful Eight's good? You really saying it's good? Wow. Death Proof is at the bottom of his list for sure. No, Hateful Eight's at the bottom of the list for me. And I think Death Proof is just above that, in my humble opinion. I think the problem with Hateful Eight is it's too long. It's too self-indulgent. It really is. Just no need for it. Technic Builder. Are you saying that Inglourious Basterds is his best film? Better than Pulp Fiction, my friend? Because I would have to vehemently disagree with you if that's what you say. Walter Goggins is fantastic, agreed, but the film's not. Hateful Eight is just, honestly, it's like, Hateful Eight is like, I can imagine being locked in a room with Tarantino, with him half drunk, and him just rambling on for like 3 hours in my ears. And if I try and say anything, he'll go, no. Yeah. I imagine that's how Hateful Eight felt to me. It was just like 8 Tarantinos talking at me for 3 hours in a room. It was painful. Well, makes everything great for me. Hey, has anyone seen Justified? I know I go on about it all the time, but Justified is just so damn good. He didn't make Fallout very good though, did he? Just saying that. Your best Terry Gilliam. Hello, Geggy. Is that Geggy Animations? Hello, guys. We just had 68 people in here. We nearly got to 70. I need some more likes then, because I want to have the 200% thing going on. So we've got 113 likes. That means we need 7 more likes. So if you could get 7 more likes, guys, that would be beautiful. Then we can back to 200%. That'd be incredible. Best Terry Gilliam movies. I think 12 Monkeys is number 1. I think Brazil is number 2. And I think I'm going to leave it there because I can't remember many more of his movies. I'm going to leave it there. But I did, what's that film with Robin Williams? I didn't really like that film too much. Yeah. It's a good director. 1, Pulp Fiction. 2, Kill Bill Volume 1. And 3, Inglourious Bastards. I would say, Tom, I would just swap Kill Bill Volume 1 and Inglourious Bastards around. I would say the films I prefer to watch from Tarantino would be Kill Bill. That's my favorite film. That's my the film I can enjoy the most. But I think Pulp Fiction technically a way better film, and I think Inglourious Bastards is his most mature film, and that's because a lot of his films are not mature. What else we got here? Christopher Waltz. Yeah, he is brilliant. Christopher Waltz, he's wonderful. No Love for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a good film. It's a good film. It's a good film. It's a good film. That's all I'm going to say. Kill Bill is my favorite too. Yeah, Kill Bill is my favorite for sure. I mean, it's just fun, isn't it? It's just a fun film. Christopher Waltz is a fantastic actor. Josh, I don't think he is. Now, this may be controversial. I don't think he is a fantastic actor. I think he's a brilliant Tarantino actor, but I've not seen him in anything else being fantastic. He's not been good in anything. Well, he's been okay in other things, but Tarantino really brings the best out of him because I've not seen him do that in anything else. The car chase with the Challenger and the Charger in Death Proof saved that movie. Other than that, it was forgettable. I like Tarantino's dialogue. I really do, apart from when it's like 8 characters all talking the same at me for 3 hours. And I think the film really showcases his dialogue really well. And it's just a bit of fun as part of a great 2-film, omnibus film with Robert Rodriguez's film. So I don't think it's the best film ever, but I do like it. What movie is overrated? Ooh. The Fisher King. That's the one. The Fisher King. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Didn't enjoy it that much, but it's okay. We watching Django fuels me with cowboy energy, and that's Red Dead Redemption. Django overrated? No, I don't think so. I think it just kind of, I think it goes on for too long, like 20 minutes too long, but I don't think it's overrated. We might need to get Marcus to watch Terry Gunn back. Yeah, I've heard about this. Isn't there a TV show is it out already? This TV show by, what's that Kiwi director? Am I allowed to say Kiwi? I think I am, right? New Zealand director who made Ragnarok. I think he's done a TV show called Time Bandits, and I think it's out already, if I'm not too mistaken, or maybe it's not out yet. I've not seen it. I don't think I don't know. I might watch it. So many films to watch, guys. So many films. Not enough time. My God. Taika Waititi. Yes, him. Is that out? Is that Time Bandits out? Because if it is, I'm not going to watch it. But at least something's out from him. Because let's face it, his Star Wars film doesn't seem to be coming out, does it? And these last few films have absolutely flopped. Which De Palma movie would you rank the top? You guys, these questions are incredible. They are incredible. And I wish I could stay here all night and go through your questions, but I think I might have to leave at 9 just to give myself that little buffer before the video comes out. But you guys, honestly, the questions are fantastic. I'm sure there'll be a live stream soon as well. So, Recetas, you've got a great question here. I'm going to star that. I'm going to star this one as well. Kedar. Where are you from, Kedar? Cool name. Let me know. Time Bandits TV show doesn't have midgets on them. I don't think they're called midgets. I think they're called small people. I don't know. I don't know about all the PC terms, but I don't think midgets is allowed. I don't know. Marcus, would you like Brazil? Marcus would like Brazil for its art house feel, but not my cup of tea. Yeah, I would agree with that. I do like it I saw it a while back. It's got De Niro in it. It's got Jonathan Pryce, Welsh actor. It's a good film. I enjoyed it. Hello from Richmond, Virginia. Where's Richmond? Vancouver? VA. What's VA? It's not Vancouver because that's Canada, right? What's VA? Virginia, right? Virginia, VA. Right. You guys are so cool with your little names and stuff. The Life of Brian, 12 Monkeys. Life of Brian. Did he do Life of Brian? Interesting. What older films do a remake? Let me start that and I'll come back to that. So, guys, as I said, I'm going to leave in about 10 minutes, maybe 15. I definitely can't go any longer than that just because the video is coming out after that. But I've started some really great questions here and I will go through them before we leave. Best of the best will change. Oh, dear. Marcus, feel bad. If you have to leave, you need energy to respond to comments. Oh, God. You guys are amazing. Kadar, where are you from? Where are you from? Let me see. Did you say where you're from? Let me know. Let me know. I'd love to know. Marcus, can you put in the comments? Could you put this comment in the backlog? What can you say? Okay, yeah, I will do that. And I'll answer that before I leave. Please look at Accident Man. I've looked at it. So sometimes funny. If you go through the videos, I've got a video on the channel where I'll repeat myself. If you guys have been on since the beginning, you're going to probably hear me repeat myself now. But Accident Man has Accident Man Part 2. And the directors of that are a fan of the channel. And they reached out to me to do a video on Accident Man 2. And they gave me the video and they told me a bit about the behind the scenes stuff. So, and the actor Andy Lung, he also commented on the video and stuff. So yeah, I've seen Accident Man 1. I've spoken about Accident Man 2 on the channel in a video. So do watch it and give it a like and share it and enjoy it. It's a good film. I enjoyed Accident. I think I prefer it to Accident Man 1, maybe. I agree with Josh here. Brazil was too artsy for me. I just find in general Terry Gilliam is very hit or miss. It's a very unique style that you either like or you don't like. And for me, it's kind of in the middle. VA is Virginia. I thought so. Can you not leave? I have so many questions. I've started that. I'll come back to that. Thoughts on Andor? Boring as fuck. Boring as fuck. Not Star Wars. Now, there's no denying, I've only seen episode 1 and 2. There's no denying it looks fantastic. The dialogue is good. The acting's really good. There's no denying. But it didn't feel like Star Wars to me. It felt like a new franchise, which is not a bad thing unless you want to watch Star Wars. And I wanted to watch Star Wars. And it didn't feel like Star Wars. And I felt it was really boring because of that. So that's my thoughts on Andor. Did Guy Ritchie do The Gentleman? He did indeed. He did The Gentleman, and it was very good. The TV show he did as well. I think he directed the first episode. An hour ago was 15. It was. I always do this. Lawnmower Man could do with a remake. Do you really think Lawnmower Man could do with a remake? Do you know what can do with a remake? There's a film with, I think, Keanu Reeves. Am I wrong? And no, I don't think it's got Keanu Reeves. Maybe it does. Denzel Washington and Keanu Reeves. Am I wrong? 1995, like a futuristic film. Guys, help me out with that one, please. Can someone fact check me on that and let me know what the name of that film is? That could do with a remake. Not seen it, but the trailer looks really interesting. I heard Andor does Star Wars good by not in. Yeah. It's just boring though. See, Star Wars is really simple. I think people overcomplicate. They're trying to reinvent the wheel with Star Wars. It's good versus evil. Give me my lightsabers. Give me some good ass fights. Give me some good characters. Give me some love. Done. I'm done. That's it. That's Star Wars. I don't need all this political BS. I don't need all the sitting down in common rooms and having in Commonwealth rooms and having chats. I don't need all that shit. Is it Johnny Mnemonic? Has that got Denzel Washington? I don't think it does. I think Johnny, is it? I think it is, isn't it? Frank, yeah, I think you've mentioned that before, Frank, and I will check it out. Don't worry. Kick-Ass is good. I've seen Kick-Ass. I've seen Kick-Ass 1 and Kick-Ass 2 with Jim Carrey. Kick-Ass 1's really good. I'm not a huge fan of the director. I thought I was when he first released these films, but I just find his work really flat, if I'm being honest with you. Johnny Mnemonic. Is it Johnny Mnemonic? With Denzel. Are you guys sure about that? Denzel in that as well? Okay, maybe it's two different films. Virtuosity, that's it. Russell Crowe. Yes, it's two different films. Thank you, Jesse. I should definitely revisit Johnny Mnemonic, but also Virtuosity. There's a side of it sci-fi fans prefer. So, guys, what do you think? Last few comments that I'm going to reply to now. But what do you think in the chat? Because we had a little poll on the channel, and the conversation was, Is Aliens a horror franchise? Now, I think it's definitely not, because there's too many in the series that are not horror. So I want you guys to say yes. No, let's do something else. Let's do horror or sci-fi. So just 2 words, horror or sci-fi. Is Aliens a horror franchise or a sci-fi franchise? Let me know in the chats, and then I'm going to answer these last little questions, and then we're going to be done. We're going to... No, Josh, I know it's not good. I know Johnny Mnemonic's not good as well, but those films were kind of ahead of their time in terms of the story. They were trying to create a storyline that that was saying this is how the future is going to be. They were kind of in the VR mindset before VR was a thing. So it'd be nice to see how they handle that now. Okay, so we got sci-fi, 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 sci-fi. Loads of sci-fi. Any horrors? Any horror takers? Yeah, I guess there's 2 though. There's 2. There's Alien and Aliens. Aliens is good, and it's a horror. That's definitely not a horror film. The first Alien was definitely horror, but subsequently no. Perhaps the third one. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, it's just. I mean, they're all shit apart from the first 2, so it's a bit of a pointless question, but you know what I mean. Right, let's do this. Last 2 questions, and then we are out. And I've got them all lined up. Hey, Marcus, could you done that one? I've been waiting for you to do Tenant. Done that one. Rositas. Marcus, have you seen Killers of the Flower Moon? Finally, it's maybe the best movie of the year. So that was last year as well. Rositas. Flowers of the Killer Moon, the Killers of the Flower Moon, whatever it's called. I thought it was long. Scorsese is my favorite director, I think. But the film is long, boring, pointless. I don't know how Lily Gladstone won an Oscar for being in bed for 2 hours. Pause. It's not good, and I love Scorsese. Which De Palma movie would you rank top? I would say my personal favorite is... I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna say Mission Impossible. I think that's my favorite De Palma film. It's a perfect genre for what he does. He loves Hitchcock. He loves the illusion of like there being a person behind the door who with all the answers. And I think Mission Impossible allowed him to do that. Of course, there's films like Scarface, there's Carrie, there is Snake Eyes and Carlito's Way. I love Carlito's Way. I prefer Carlito's Way to Scarface personally, or maybe I don't. But I'm not a huge Scarface fan. I do think it's good, but I just think it's overhyped. I would say it's maybe one of the most overrated movies I've ever seen is Scarface. But again, it's not saying it's bad. I just think it's really, really, really overhyped. So I think it's Mission Impossible for me. I'd say Mission Impossible. I think it's the best Mission Impossible as well. Just does what it says on the tin. Brilliant film, wonderful cinematography. If you want to talk about cinematography, that the shot structure in that film is just wonderful. What a director he is and was. What older film is due for a remake? So I kind of answered that with Virtuosity. I would say if a film's great, like don't touch it. Don't touch The Godfather, for example. Don't touch Scarface. Don't touch, if a film's great, don't touch it. Now, it's not to say that Scarface is a remake of a film from 1931. So it's not to say you can't remake a film, but sometimes, like, why remake Schindler's List? Why remake Jurassic Park? Like, they've done that 20 times now. Why remake Back to the Future? Don't ever touch Back to the Future. So I don't know. There's some films that weren't very good, but the premise were good. And maybe they were just behind the times in terms of their ability to get their point across. And maybe remake that, like Conan the Barbarian. I know they've remade it, but they should do a proper remake of Conan the Barbarian. And I think it'd be pretty damn sweet. Me and my friends were talking about potentially making Knight Rider with Ryan Gosling. That'd be cool, but like a Ryan Gosling type film. So it's not that serious. That'd be pretty cool as well. Marcus, can you put this in a comment or backlog? What can you say about Guy Ritchie, more specifically his newer works? I think Guy Ritchie does his thing, and I think his thing is his thing. I think he's got his own little genre going on, but he's never really ever matched the levels he was at with Lock, Stock and Snatch. He's not even come close to those levels. I liked that film that he did with Tom Hardy and Idris Elba, Rock and Roller, And I mean, basically, he makes good films. He makes good TV shows. He makes good films, but they're not anywhere near the level of Snatch and Lock, Stock. And the last one is, Can You Not Leave? The answer is no. I do leave and shall leave. Knight Rider would be awesome with Ryan Gosling. Let's do this. We need to remake bad films, remaking good films. Yeah, totally agree with you, Kerwin. Yeah, I think Scarface is like an 8 out of 10. So, Tony, I don't think Scarface is a... So, here's the thing. So, I've had this discussion before, and I'm going to have it again now quickly. Some people said, when I said Alien Romulus is 6, people were like, that's too low. But is it? Because, okay, so you've just given Scarface an 8. So, if we actually mathematically break that down and then say what is the best film ever, if we say, for example, The Godfather is the best film ever, so are we saying that it's just Scarface is just 2 marks away from The Godfather? Because for me, if The Godfather's a 10, I don't think any film's a 10, but if The Godfather's a 10 and Scarface is an 8, that's too close, surely. And then if Alien Romulus is anything other than 6, that's too high as well. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just living in a dreamland. Guy Ritchie is at the stage of collecting. Oh dear. No comment. Hello. From Hungary. Hello. Great to meet you. I only know a few things about Hungary. I know Pushkas and Dominic Sobosolai, and I know a girl from Hungary. That's all I know about Hungary. Raid the Lost Ark's a 10. No, it's not. 6 out of 10 is very fair for Alien Romulus. Yes. Raiders Lost Ark is a 10, but it's not even his best film. Schindler's List is his best film, and that would be probably a 9. I love it. I love that film. It's probably an 8. But it's not a 10. I mean, to you it's a 10. I can't say to you it's definitely a 10, but to me it's definitely not. No, Saving Private Ryan's not a 10. No, Schindler's List is better than Saving Private Ryan. So if it's better than Saving Private Ryan, then it can't be a 10. I would say Raiders of the Lost Ark is better than Saving Private Ryan as well. Not by much, but I think it is better. But again, it's just my opinion. Any hope for Gladiator? Hello, Nate. Where are you from, Nate Garcia? Love that name. There's hope. There is hope. But I think Ridley Scott's just making extremely bad films. He's not made a good film since The Martian back in 2015. Was that? Someone fact check me on that, which is nearly 10 years. He's just made Napoleon. I've not seen it. Not going to watch it. I heard it's absolute toilet water. If the man and the things he was saying to justify his choices worries me, is the rhetoric of an old man who doesn't know what he's talking about. And I hope you're not watching this, Ridley Scott, because you've had a distinguished, beautiful career. I just think that it's time to sit down and relax because it's over. So that's my only concern for Gladiator 2. If it was directed by, for example, Denis Villeneuve or Christopher Nolan, I think it'd be an absolute masterpiece. But I'm concerned about the choices that Ridley Scott's been making as a filmmaker. So yeah. Right. Any comedies that would be a 10? Anchorman's a 12. Come and See is definitely a 10. It's not. I don't think any film's a 10, but if I would say I'd say it's a 9. I don't even think it's a 9. I think it's an 8. Josh, everything's a 10. Marcus, you can tell me that neither Kurosawa is his only film that I would put as a 9, not a 10, is definitely Seven Samurai. I don't think High and Low is. I think High and Low is an 8. And I'd say Rashomon is 9 as well. Those are the only ones for me personally. Hey, Mark, it's possible to answer my questions. Okay, Sylvia, I've lost your questions, unfortunately. So I can't. Unless you write it again before I leave, I won't be able to answer. But if you write it now, I'll quickly answer it before I leave. I heard there's a I heard there are Prometheus aliens in Gladiator. Napoleon was the biggest heap of crap by Ridley Scott. Everything except for the casting of Napoleon. Even that was wrong. Even that was the worst thing about it, is that you had Joaquin Phoenix, who just came on set and said, yeah, I'm not doing a French accent, so suck it. And Ridley Scott was like, okay, cool. Well, I guess you're doing an American accent then. That's not acceptable for me. That's why I haven't watched it. I saw the trailer, I saw the American accent. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's why I saw the trailer. I was like, come on, man. I was like, that's not for me. It's not for me. Right. So, Sylvia, if you've got that question, now is the time, or it won't be the time, is the conclusion here. So, guys, what have we learned about today's lesson? We've learned that I've got 50,000 subscribers, learned that we got 123 likes, which is absolutely sensational. That's a 200% score ratio of viewers to likes. It's not really that, because there's probably been about that number of people in the chat over the past 2 hours. But I'd like to think of it like that. So I'm going to say it's 200%, which is way more than Critical Drinkers got. And then, yeah, you guys are just fantastic. Awesome. Thank you very much for all your comments and likes on the videos. I've got a video coming out in 24 minutes. Bad movie fights versus good movie fights, volume 15. Please watch it all the way through. Please like it. Please share it. Please put it on your Twitter, on your X, put it on your Instagram. Put it wherever you like. Get your mum to watch it, your dad, your cat, everyone to watch it. And then the last thing is, I'm sure I'll be doing another stream soon. I'm sure I'll have 100,000 people soon. But on top of that, I'm sure I'll be on for another stream before that as well. So I can't tell you when. I used to do live streams every week, but I stopped doing that. Now I'm making videos, 2 videos every week, so I just don't have time for live stream. But I'm going to try and do another one, hopefully, in the next week or so. This has been really fun, really successful. But yeah, Sylvia's not come back to me with the question, I don't think. So no, here it is. All right, cool. Right, so this will be the last thing, and then we're gonna do a little goodbye video, and then we're gonna be off, guys. So the question was. The question was that Tarantino doesn't care for Dune 2 as it's a remake. So I did see this comment by Tarantino. He said he didn't watch it. He's already seen it. I kind of agree with him. So what he said was, if you guys have not seen this, he said that he's not been watching a lot of these modern day remakes of old films because he knows the story already. And if he knows the story already, then why would he watch the film? And I kind of agree with him. My only issue with this statement is that maybe the story wasn't done very well. So if it wasn't done very well, then yeah, you should do it again. So don't agree with that part. I think there's some masterpiece films. I don't think the original Dune by David Lynch is a masterpiece film. So, and I think one of the issues people had with it was the story. So if you can do that over 3 films and do it better, then I'm down for a remake. But if it's like The Godfather, that's told perfectly, then no, why would you watch a remake? So I disagree with him, and I agree with him at the same time. It's kind of both at the same time there. Kedar, did we ever find out where you were from? Where are you from? Did you write it and I missed it? I'm so sorry if I did, and I keep asking you. If you've written it like 2 times already, don't bother writing it again, because that's just me just missing it, and I do apologize. But thank you very much for the congratulations. Right, guys, any last questions before we go? That's a fair point by Tarantino, but that's for every generation. Yeah, totally agree with that, Cohen. And again, yeah, generational thing, because I wasn't, I was pretty damn young when the first Dune came out, so it wasn't really for me. Then, how do people of the chat think about the Batman? Would you agree that it's not that great because it's a remake? I think I'm done with Batman. I've been done with Batman for years. So I'm not the best person to ask. Tom, thank you so much for the super chat. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm just done with, as you know, you guys probably, if you watch me, I'm not a huge Batman fan. I think he's a psychopath. But yeah. I think Kerwin kind of hit the nail on the head. Like, if you've made a film that is 20, 30 years ago from one generation, why not remake it? But The Godfather, just don't touch that. Don't touch Back to the Future as well. Tom, love you too, my friend. You are amazing. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Right. Tarantino clearly isn't a reader by his definition. The Godfather would. Yeah. I mean, I don't know him personally, so I can't attest to that. But hey. No, The Batman was very good. Was it? Yeah, I guess I can't really argue with you guys. I'm sure you all love The Batman. I don't like it. I think it's okay. It's like a 6 out of 10. Best of QT music. He takes a lot of music from all other films, so it would probably be films that he's taken music from, if that makes sense. Marcus, I think you could leave here and we'd be happy with chatting the way. Yeah, I agree with you, Josh. I think I'm going to go. So The Batman's great. It's different than other movies before. Yeah, I don't like it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Please watch the video. It's coming out in 19 minutes. If you've got any more questions, comments, you can write them on the video. On this video. If you're not watching this live and you're just kind of catching up and rewatching it, write the questions in the comments and I will try and answer them. Or you can just jump on the live stream next time, or save your questions for the video that's coming out in 19 minutes. You guys are incredible. I've said that about 30 times, but it's a fact. You guys are incredible. The Batman reference, the root of the character as a detective, rather. Yeah, I know. I know. So I know the new Batman film. He's more of a detective, which is what people like. But you know what? Maybe you guys can answer me this before I leave. So I don't really know much about the Batman lore. Does anyone know about the Batman lore before I leave? Because I need a question answered. I need someone to. Anyone know about Batman lore here? Anyone before you leave? Anyone? Yeah, okay, Tom, great. So there was a TV show called Gotham that came out, had Jada Pinkett Smith, and we had a version of the Penguin in that. And he wasn't really a gangster. He was very manipulative, and I think the guy who played him was really good. I stopped watching after season 2, but he was a really good actor, and it's really interesting. We've now got this version of the Penguin, which is really, he's basically Tony Soprano. And then we've got the version of the Batman from 1991, is it? 1992, 1991, 1993, whatever it was, in Batman Returns, Danny DeVito's version. They're also different from each other. So which one is the most, I don't understand, like this version of the Penguin that we're watching on the TV show is just pure gangster mafia. The other one is like a fucking dweeb. And then the first one's just a monster, like a little disgusting little monster. Which one is the most accurate version of the Penguin? Can you let me know before I leave? I don't know. So this is for my benefit more than anyone else's. Thank you, D. Really appreciate that. So yeah, if anyone knows the answer to that question, let me know and then I'm going to jump off because I'm so confused. They're so different. Like Batman pretty much is consistent throughout the intonations of the character. And so is the Riddler pretty much. And so is Catwoman. And so is the Joker. But it just feels like the Penguin's been changed so much. Okay, so here we go. The new Penguin show should have been a regular show with normal characters set in New York or something. That would have been cool. I think the problem is the IP. The IP is what got the show over the line. We don't get new content anymore. The best Batman, probably the original animated. That doesn't answer the question, but I've not seen the animated one. There are different storylines of all the characters written different writers, so it depends on the storyline. But that's really weird to me because that doesn't make sense. What you said makes sense, but it doesn't make sense because, and I'm not saying you don't make sense, I'm saying it doesn't make sense because, again, back to Star Wars, you wouldn't go, there's a different version of Luke Skywalker, there's a different version of Darth Vader, there's a different version of Tony Soprano, there's a different version of Don Corleone. Do you know what I mean? That's why I find Batman so confusing. It's just it's not consistent, and I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Honestly, it pains me to say this, but Gotham version is the closest one considering. Oh, okay. So the Jada Pinkett Smith one was the closest version. Okay, that's interesting. One of Batman's oldest films, Penguin, is often presented as a gentleman of crime, often developing elaborate schemes whilst presenting himself as innocent. Ah, I see. Okay, I get it. So the TV show is kind of doing the same thing. It's just doing it in a more Sopranos kind of way. Okay. An eccentric criminal mastermind is well known for his love of ornithology and use of technology. Fitted umbrellas. Yes, indeed. That's not happening in the TV show just yet, but I'm only in episode 2, so maybe there will be an umbrella by episode 10 or 20 or whatever. Right, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for answering the question. Thank you so much. You guys are beautiful, wonderful. Watch the video. I'll catch you soon. If you want to reach out to me, in fact, I've had this crappy thing scrolling on the screen for like 16,000 big love. What? It's been there forever. Get rid of it. If you guys want to hit me up on X, I will answer. I'm on Instagram. Just put my first name and my surname with another S. And on Instagram, I am just Marcus Fleming. So hit me up on that. And that is it. Big love. You guys are incredible. I will say it to the cows come home. We got 126 likes. And thank you for the super chats. You're beautiful. And I'll see you guys very soon.